Hi, everybody. Welcome to my Tuesday under 5 minute devotion. And I appreciate you sharing with me here for a few minutes as I unpack some scripture and some different things. We're still here in the Spokane area in fire recovery mode. A lot of folks Sunday and yesterday, were able to finally go back to their homes, people who had been evacuated for a week. So, we certainly celebrate that. But there's still a lot of work to do, and I've been to the resource center for fire victims a number of times, and there's a lot of people just kind of getting through who have lost their homes or whatever, you know, so in situations like this, we ask what we can do, and it's been my experience people kind of want to jump in and do things, and some things are helpful, not everything is helpful, but I mentioned this in Sunday church that one of the things that we can do is just ask how people are. When people are going through something, just to say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And okay, I realize that can be an annoying thing to when somebody, um, isn't ready to talk, or when it's obvious that it's bad, and you just say, "Oh, how are you doing?" But okay, use a little bit of wisdom in the situation where you can discern how best to check in with somebody, and so that if you know a person, you know how to do that, and when it's helpful and when it isn't, and just to say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I don't mean being the annoying person that always wants this deep, meaningful conversation when maybe you don't. I've known some folks that come from certain church backgrounds that they'll always be asking, "Well, what's God doing in your life?" Well, okay, I understand the question, but sometimes you don't want to talk about that when you're just like, "Okay, let me grab up my things and go to the car." And I don't want to sit here and have to talk about that, which is not a quick conversation at all, or an easy conversation. So, okay, don't be that annoying person, but think about it in your own life. I bet you've known people who genuinely care about you, who are genuinely concerned for your well-being, where it's not an act, it's not a way for them to try to get something from you to act like they're interested, but who generally genuinely care. And I've known some folks through the years in church settings that genuinely cared about my well-being and wanted the best for me. Well, be that person in whatever way you can. Be that person. Care about people, and it doesn't. I mean, just in the people in your own circle that just say, "Hey, how are you doing?" And care about the answer. I mean, I think that's what's needed maybe more than anything right now. There's lots of situations we can't fix right now. I mean, if somebody lost their home or whatever, okay, you're not going to snap your fingers and make that better for them. They've got a journey to go through to get through all of that, but you can care about them, and I think that's what's needed. There's a this it happens a lot in Jesus' ministry, that it'll mention that he was moved with compassion. This verse from Matthew 9 says, "Now when Jesus saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were troubled and helpless like sheep without a shepherd." That part about having compassion, moved with compassion, that happens a whole lot. Often that's repeated as Jesus encounters people, that there's compassion for the needs. And I invite you to have that in whatever way you can for the people in your life. Show some compassion, show some care, show some concern. Like I said, you're probably not going to fix whatever they're going through immediately, but you can care. And I think that makes a difference. It's made a difference in my life when people cared. And you can do that too. It doesn't cost you anything other than a little energy and attention from yourself, and just opening your heart to the needs of another. So, in whatever way that you can, show a little compassion, show a little care, and maybe it's just asking with honesty, asking someone, "How are you doing?" So we can all do that. So go and do that this week. Peace to you all. Thanks for being with me, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.